Hey there, gang. So just to be brief, for those who haven't heard, the developers are considering removing any and all forms of haste and hindered stacking. So this means Clown's yellow and pink bottles can't be stacked with rapid brutality, the new knockout rework, play with your food, machine learning, and this is going to have a pretty dramatic impact when it comes to fun, non-meta chase builds. Normally, people that run these perks aren't doing it to be super sweaty. These builds aren't super overpowered because when you forsake gen perks as a killer without any macro or map mobility, it should be self-explanatory what can happen when survivors just do their one and only objective, right? So losing out on just this opportunity, right, or this the ability to do this for fun has hurt a lot of people. I've noticed there are people in my community that have talked about how they just don't even want to play Clown anymore. They don't even want to play DBD because they're being restricted in this agency when it really wasn't overbearing to begin with. And I sympathize with the people who feel that way. You know, we can't control what the developers can do. I voice my opinions and I'm going to hope and wish for the best. But in the event that the worst were to come and we don't get on any form of haste or hindered stacking, right, with our power, given that Clown has such high numbers that he won't be able to synergize them with anything, I've already prepared ahead of time for you guys. This is a little bit of a sampling, a taste, if you will, of a chase build that you can run post-haste hindered stacking removal. And I've been really liking this build. There's a little bit more I'm going to be looking to kind of play around with it, right? Possibly swapping out superior anatomy. But basically what the new meta is about when it comes to chase builds on Clown is instead of front-loading your build with all those haste perks, instead you're probably going to be looking at information. So Zanshin tactics and I'm all ears. I've been loving this combo. This basically together is almost like Cigar box, right? Yeah, it's 2 perk slots, but you're running a chase build, and this effectively gives you one of Clown's best add-ons. It gives you the aura reading when you need it at the specific moments. Zanshin tactics helps you set up 50-50s. I'm all ears helps you with tile chains and extended stay when survivors stay in a tile for an extended duration. Really great for that. You could probably even to play into this more by swapping out superior anatomy with lethal pursuer. You know, like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to be looking to see here. But yeah, the new meta basically is about taking aura reading perks, and when it comes to your add-ons, you front load your add-ons with potency, right? So you could take Garsh Makeup Kit Flask of Bleach. You could go Flask of Bleach and Ether. A lot of people that run Pink Bottle or really just in general like this combo. This combo is still really good regardless. You could run this, right? You could run Cheap Gen Bottle with Flask of Bleach. You could run Cheap Gen Bottle with Garsh Makeup Kit. Any one of these heavy double laden potency add-on combos, these are considerations you want to have going into this new meta, because if you can't take haste or hindered perks, well, you can take the haste or hindered add-ons, right? So take the haste or hindered add-ons instead of the information, put your information into your perks, and while it's not the same thing, it's still effective. It's still good. Now, is it as good as meta? No, but is it as good as the haste builds? Well, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm doing great in chase. I feel like I have agency, and if you're curious about what that really looks like, you know, maybe this match will be a good consideration for that. Keep in mind, though, I did have superior anatomy because I do like to have this for those troublesome windows. But in the event that you want to swap it, be my guest. And since I haven't talked about it, just real quick, one of the reasons we have genetic limits in this build is because it is so good at stopping dead hard. If you chase a survivor and you are not camping or tunneling and you know that they have this dead hard, right, so you need a strong and efficient chase since you're already spreading hooks, this denies that dead hard almost every single time if you play well in chase. It is the best perk I've noticed for that, so I would really recommend it for that reason. But yeah, this was a really great match showcasing this build, and I really look forward to investigating this more as the time goes on. Yeah. Does really suck, though. Oh, by the way, this is going to be a nerf to other perks by proxy, too. Like, for example, Blood Favor? Blood Favor's weaker now. Because survivors can hold W and get out of range of Blood Favor. You know what I mean? You don't have rapid brutality to counter the W. Oh shit, she's gonna... Oh, she double guessed. Okay, perfect. But yeah. You're not gonna have rapid. That's just off the top of my head. There's probably more. How will play with your food work? You're gonna need 3 stacks, basically. You need 3 stacks for play with your food to do anything, so play with your food's dead in the water. Like, there is such a... It basically makes Haste and Hindered perks so fucking niche. They're almost in a way partially comparable to, like, economy add-ons with how, like, niche they become. Like, but in a much more niche manner. No, they're not reworking it. Other killers can utilize it just fine. Clown can't. I probably shouldn't even be reloading, TBH. What am I doing? Oh, invisible wall? Hello? The store's closed, right? No, it's open. Fucking... Oh, what are we doing over here? Oh shit, what are we all doing over here? What's going on up here? Also, it's 3 Ks. What are you doing? Clever. You know, I feel like chasing you. Shit. Yeah, probably, gang. I didn't think they'd share an input, though. Alright, now let's go kick this gen. That's why I didn't want to kick it earlier. I was like, maybe we'll have time. Why not both? Yeah, they said effects instead of perks. Honestly, if it was like perks and not effects, Clown could almost get away with it completely unscathed. If it was perks and not effects, because there aren't many builds like super mean that like utilize literally all of them together. Oh. Fuck. Oh, actually clever. I like her. But that's why we run Garsh Makeup Kit. What do these add-ons do? The purple one gives me 2 extra seconds of yellow bottle duration. The green one increases the Hindered potency by 4%, which is effectively close to 33%. It's a very, very strong penalty. Oh, damn, that's an adorable fucking sprint burst we got there. Where'd it go? Yeah, I probably should have kicked that door. 6. You know what? Fuck it. Oh, she's giving up. Why are we giving up? Why is she giving up? Hold on a minute. Here we go. Damn, there goes some blood, huh? Oh, watch this trick shot. Oh, check out that trick shot. Did I say you could fill up this blood? Is genetic limits that good? Yeah, it stops dead hard when you commit to a 2 health state chase. When I chase a survivor from healthy to dead, I don't have to worry about dead hard if I've got genetic limits, so that's why I like it. Oh, hey, what's going on over here? Can I do this with pinks only? Oh, we don't even need it. It's a lot of BP there. I mean, low-key, this build ain't bad, right? For no haste and no stabiffle, this ain't a bad build post I'm all ears getting buffed. I've definitely seen worse chase builds. And yeah, if anyone's wondering, the theme for today, we're doing matches without haste or hindered perks. We're kind of prepping. Also, no save the best for last either. We're kind of prepping for what our builds will look like with these changes. Not that there's anything affected by save, I just don't want to run it for posterity. Damn, no GGs? Feels bad, man. So normally, especially with a build like this, Gideon is a very rough map for Clown. This is because there are just so many pallets which flat out block a hallway, and it doesn't matter how strong your chase build is as Clown, you can't just end up on the other side of a pallet, right? You have to kick these pallets, and these pallets are close enough to other pallets where the survivors can do the same thing. And it's just, if you're looking at it from a macro level, Clown can't keep up in the 1v4 committing to chases where he has to chew through these pallets. And similarly, he also can't keep up in the 1v4 without any gen perks where he just slowly breaks these pallets, breaks chases, right? Goes and starts a chase with a different survivor. Because by the time you finally start getting your hooks in and you've removed some of these pallets, well, all the generators have been completed. And again, right, like these generators wouldn't even be affected by gen perks. So even if we had a build that was more slated to make things easier for us for stalling out the match, that's not really going to be as good unless I played into the 3-gen really, really aggressively, which even then still has its downsides, right? Because we are playing Clown, we lack in macros, survivors can double up on gens, you know, but I digress. In order to really succeed with a build like this against survivors on this map, you kind of have to punish them for playing risky, which thankfully these survivors did. And honestly, I'll go as far as to say a combination of their risk and genetic limits played so heavily into our favor. I didn't realize until after the fact, watching the match a few times, but genetic limits carried us through every single one of our chases. Go back and watch yourself if you didn't notice, but every single one of these survivors had Lithe, sans the Kate, with the, the Michaela with the sprint burst. And this basically meant that if I hit these Kates, which I did before they vaulted a pallet, now they can't really do anything with their Lithe. And with how a lot of them were saving their Lithes when they were in these desperate measures, right? They were in these corners where they needed the Lithe in order to tile chain. Well, now they can't get that tile chain. They're getting hit at these pallets. Even if they vault, they have to rely on seldom 50-50s, which you can't do against a Clown with a yellow bottle, right? So this just made it so easy for us to beat them at the tiles, which we actually can play. And you look further at the fact that, again, this new meta of Clown, if we're not playing, not only are we not playing against Exhaustions, but we have I'm All Ears and we have Zanshin Tactics. And these perks together are basically like running Cigar bots. It is so good to run these new perks in this upcoming meta because the buff to I'm All Ears basically means that you have this R reading up for every single chase. Now, keep in mind, we were starting our chases so damn fast, so probably in this match, not so much, since we were so far ahead of the curve, but it's effectively only a 38-second cooldown. So when you factor in Clown's mobility on some of these other maps that he's going to have to take, and survivors, right, also playing patiently, you're typically going to get that average in your matches once per chase. And that's really all you need, because if you get this once per chase and you get a health state off of that per chase, and you're also able to replicate that with your bottles and Zanshin tactics, right? That's 2 health states. That's a down, that's a hook. That's what's so great about this build. Now, some people might be wondering, what exactly did Superior Anatomy do for us in this game? Well, specifically, it didn't do anything for us, right? Like, genuinely, we could have ran any other perk. We didn't vault a single window. But does that mean that this perk was worthless? No. Even on a map like this, Superior Anatomy could have been very beneficial, because what happens if the survivors had a different set of RNG where the door near the pipe drop wasn't already open, right? What if that was closed? And so in turn, they would see us coming and they'd run up the staircase, drop down the pipe. That's where Superior Anatomy becomes good. Superior Anatomy in that situation, if I'm close enough when they drop, I drop after them. They're going to stagger on drop without balanced landing. I'm going to hit them because of that stagger. Similarly, what if they have balanced landing and I hit them when they're healthy and they try to chain to that same drop, right? They're not going to have balanced landing for that because of genetic limits. So it's just so good to still have Superior Anatomy in your kit for these situations. It's going to make sure that you don't fall behind on pressure when you're ahead. And similarly, if you want to keep snowballing further, you're going to have that. And if you're behind and kind of need to get back in the game, you've got that too. So I really like Superior Anatomy, but again, you can swap it for Coup. You can take Save the Best for Last if you're so inclined. You can take even something like Lethal Pursuer, which I plan on experimenting with a lot coming soon, because you've got I'm All Ears and Zanshin Tactics. That extra 2 seconds really is going to give you so much R reading over the course of the match. And yeah, while it is a shame that Clown can't really play into Hindered or Haste perks, assuming the developers don't change, like their proposed idea, right? If they don't give us any form of 1 perk stacking with either Haste or Hindered, then at the very least, you've got this build to rely on. This is a very good build. I think it'll be the new meta for chase builds, is just front-loading information in your perks, and then you just take all of your Haste and your Hindered and your add-ons. But yeah, I think that just about otherwise wraps up this match. Really, really pleased with what transpired, especially since, again, genetic limits denied so many exhaustion perks that I didn't even really realize. Not just the sprint burst, but 3 lives. So if you're interested in learning how to play Clown better, I have a very detailed Clown guide that I'll be sure to link in the description. And also, I stream live on Twitch during the weekdays, typically Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, so I've linked my stream in the description as well. And lastly, if you really like these videos, I try to upload usually 4 to 5 times a week. I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, not just for yourself so you can see when these videos come out, but also because it really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And what I really like about making these videos is getting my videos out there so more people can see it and then I can help them. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Later, gang.